But again, if you're constantly looking at step number 18, step number 30, it's always going to be overwhelming. And that might be the same reason why you don't have a CRM, why your marketing is not consistent, why you don't have employees, why your operation is still running the same way it was running 7 years ago. There's a problem there. All right. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. I'm your host, AZ Araujo. Go ahead and check in as you come on board. And thank you for joining me for this live recording. I look forward to Mindset Masteries every day because it forces me, right, to analyze what I've done over the week, what thoughts are coming to mind. It also forces me to expand my ability to communicate, expand my capacity as far as being able to take the lessons of life and be able to describe them in the way I see it, right? And hopefully something that I say today will get you going where you need to go. I mean, listen, we're 7-8 months into the 2022, and we have to realize that, if we don't have the things that we want, somewhere along the lines, we're buying into this narrative that we're not worthy of it, or that we're incapable of it. And I think it's more of the not being capable of doing it, because I was stuck in that place for years when I was stuck with, our brokers are small, revenues weren't coming in as fruitful as they are today. My ability to understand technology was way above me. I mean, just to be able to create the kind of stuff that we're creating today on a daily basis used to take me months, right? Because I was just overwhelmed, because I needed to know every detail of how to get to the next step. And I actually had a coaching call last week, and one of my clients from Big Money Brokers says, hey, well, can you send me all the details of what you do here? And the reality is it doesn't matter what all the details that I have, because at the end of the day, if you don't take the first step, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like trying to build one of those IKEA furniture pieces. And trust me, I've had my fair share of IKEA furniture pieces to last a lifetime, right? And I remember going through the instructional, the documents to try to put this together. And, it can be done, and it is done on a consistent basis. They've been able to take, this complex a way to build something and make it very, very simple where anyone could actually do it. But if you were to take those same instructions and go to step number 22, it would look foreign, right? It would look like it's just a bunch of gibberish. You would actually be frustrated even more. As a matter of fact, you would probably quit because you think that's where you need to start from, when in fact, you just have to take the first step. And everything that we do for our business has to take that initial step. It has to be simplified to a point that you can't understand what step number 18 means. You will never be able to really comprehend that, regardless of how much instruction is given to you, regardless of the graphics that are provided to you. You will not be able to understand that. Yet that's the way we approach business on a consistent basis. You're like, well, how am I going to be able to stream this and that? How am I going to put this together? How am I going to get the captions on my videos? How am I going to do this? Well, the first step is just to make a video, right? And from there, you're able to now understand the complexities of what the next step are. But if you're trying to figure everything out, every detail, every process, and I see this a lot in our industry with CRMs, right? They want to be able to just do a one click and everything's done for them. And the vast majority of agents in our industry just don't have the discipline and don't have the organization to actually keep a CRM that works for them. I actually put up a video this morning on Workplace to give you what the possibility is of just simply applying something this week. And that's simplifying the process. You don't have to have your entire CRM done today. Understand that you just have to take a few steps to get to understand what the next steps are beyond that. But again, if you're constantly looking at step number 18, step number 30, it's always going to be overwhelming. And that might be the same reason why you don't have a CRM, why your marketing is not consistent, why you don't have employees, why your operation is still running the same way it was running 7 years ago. There's a problem there. Right? It's because we step into it and we get overwhelmed because we want the end product. You will not get an end product like what I have right now with an entire staff being able to help me run this operation. I had to scale it all the way back. I had to peel it all back and just simply put the phone to my face and start speaking. And then every day I just got a little better. Every day I understood technology a little better. I understood how to edit my own videos. Before I got someone to edit it for me, I needed to understand that process. Before I had somebody build my websites, I needed to understand that process. Before I can get somebody else to write my emails for me, I have to understand how to write so I can find my own voice. So as you step into this week, quit looking at step number 36 or 18 or 30 or whatever example I gave. It's about what can you do this week? And it's just really simplifying it, because whatever you add this week, just think about this, is better than what you've done in the last 7 years. Amazing, right? If you were to add one person to your CRM and get a market update report, and you haven't done it up to this point, and you've been in the industry 7 years, that's the way you got to look at it. That simple step that you apply today is something more than you've done in the last 7 years. But that's a win. And then you start winning every single day, where you start making moves where you actually inspire yourself, where you don't have to look outside of you. You don't have to get motivated outside of you, because you look at your own progression, you're like, holy shit, I'm on fire. Damn, look how good I'm getting. I get pride every time I walk through the door of this studio, because if I didn't take the simple step every single day, none of this would have been possible. But yet most people just see the outcome. They don't understand that it takes step number one. Step number one, put the camera to your face. Step number two, learn how to upload the video. Watch some YouTube videos to know how to edit it. Go live. You're with your CRM, same thing. I have the most basic of steps available for you. Just go to Empire Members and just do that today, and you'll be further ahead than you have been in the last 7 years. I talk to people that have been in the industry over 10 years and are still trying to get the CRM up and running. One day, AZ, one day, I'm going to get the CRM. It's like, damn, dude. I could only imagine if I was trying to fight the same battle day in and day out. I would have still remained in my 800 square foot office. I would have still had that just one employee. I would have still been running a one-man show. Well, damn. We got to see something bigger for us. But getting overwhelmed with the end product is never going to allow you to start. So what can you peel back today? Like, what is it that your company needs? Because if you're still running, and I'm not trying to diminish your progression here. I'm just trying to challenge you to become greater at business, at marketing, at sales, at building systems. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to diminish what you've done. What I'm saying is there's more ahead of you, but you stop getting overwhelmed. Quit looking at the end product. What step do you have to take next? So like I told my client, I said, hey, how about you record a video as opposed to trying to see the entire thing of how it operates? Because we've been on this call for 9 weeks and we're still having the same conversation. So stop it, because you're trying to look at step number 26. I keep on saying different numbers, right? Step 36. But you get the gist of this message. As you start a simple analysis of what our top producers are doing, or what the top producers in our industry, what the top performers in any industry are doing, they just improve themselves each and every day. That's it. And lo and behold, you become an expert. You start mastering these skill sets. You start going head and shoulders above the competition, because the vast majority are just going to sit there. They're not really interested in building a business. They just want to cover their bills. Why take on all this stress and duress of being a business owner if you're not going to build it up? Without the systems, without myself, without building what I have today, I was stressed out of my mind with 20 agents under this brokerage. I was constantly worrying. I was constantly on edge. And if you don't have a predictable income, you're always going to feel that way. And you only are able to build predictability on the back of systems and processes, consistency and discipline. So if you simply just take on the CRM this week, I put a video on Workplace, just watch that. You're going to see how you have now another method to communicate with your clients. So it doesn't rely on you to be motivated to reach out to them. That's called a system. I'm not always motivated to be here, but I understand that it requires this for the machine to keep going. I'm like oil to the machine. You're oil to your machine. So that's what I want to focus on this week, guys. Like, what can you apply? Something simple. And again, if we look at it from a different perspective, it's something that it took you 7 years to put together. But it's going to lay the foundation for where you're going to be in another 7 years. And I have like different quotes that I'm just inspired by. Like I finished my 12-week target book, and I'm a little behind. I know some of you guys started it like 2 weeks ago. I just started on mine. And I was going back through it, and there was 2 weeks that I missed. And those are the 2 weeks that I was out of town, or I had some stuff going on. But I'm pretty consistent. But there's 2 weeks here that I missed. And that's why it took me so long to finish this thing. And I know some of you, again, started a couple weeks ago. But I'm here now. I'm still doing it. And again, this process right here was to condition you to take the next step. Not to look at step number 36. I think I said that before. Number 36 or 18. It's just to be like, okay, what can I do today? How can I get inspired today? And there's some quotes here that I wanted to go by. And I want to end it with how important I am affirmations are. And then I'm going to read some of these comments that are coming through. And please, if anything's coming up in your mind about this conversation, please share with me. Please share with me, because I need your insights. I need your insights to build me. I need your perspective to see a different perspective, right? Or the same one. Are we talking the same? Are you feeling what this message is all about? We can end strong this year, guys. Like 2020, we can end strong. Imagine ending it with confidence and certainty. Imagine what that's going to do for your 2023. Knowing that the majority of the industry right now is hesitant. Like, how powerful does it feel? I compare it to like waking up at 4:30 in the morning. As I'm driving to the gym at 5 a.m., I don't see many cars out on the road. It's still dark. It just gives me a sense of like, I got the advantage. And that's all we need. It's just a sense that it can be accomplished. So let's dive into those senses. Let's dive into those feelings. Knowing that you have the advantage over the competition, how beautiful does that feel? How inspiring is that? Knowing that you're leading the charge, regardless of what you produce thus far. So there was some as I was going back, I like going through my notes of where I was at. And there's some quotes here that I ran into, and 3 of them were, just got my attention. And it's right in line with where we're at today, right? Don't get comfortable. The competition is constantly evolving and getting better. The people you think aren't your competition will be. Like for me, that I know that's what constantly, at the moment I don't feel like doing something, there's this other being that I've created in my mind that's actually doing it. And that pisses me off, right? That my story, that my narrative is so weak that I'm going to give in to whatever I'm feeling at the moment. That drives me. I have to find that inspiration, just knowing that somebody else is doing it if I choose not to. I don't want to be left behind. I've been left behind too many times. And when I stop doing the things that I'm supposed to do, everyone in my sphere, everyone in my realm suffers. My marriage suffers. My kids suffer. My finances. I suffer. I'm a competitor. But you got to tell yourself that every day. I'm a competitor. That's why it's so important we continue to breathe light into ourselves. Don't expect somebody to come outside of you to tell you what you should be doing. It's all within. The I am affirmations are for you to just declare who the hell you are and believe it. And I'm going to go over a few examples because if you can just do this today, I promise you, and you do it every day over like moving forward, it really solidifies you of the person you want to become. Success is cold and unrelenting. The next phase we all need to go to is cold and unrelenting. It's not an arrival point. You start making more money, it's cold and unrelenting. All of a sudden you have these challenges you never saw before. It will challenge you to determine your suitability. Think about that. Do you really belong? Oh, I belong. As a matter of fact, I belong on two to three steps ahead, 3 levels ahead. And then when I get there, there's 3 more levels that I need to get to. I'm not putting my feet up. There's some personal accomplishments that I've been able to experience here in the last few days, and I'm like, okay, it's a new realm. It's a little overwhelming. I appreciate the risks that I've taken, but I got more within me. I'm pushing the envelope. I'm not stopping. What more do I have? What more do I have to build? How much more knowledge do I need to gain to get to that next level? I see some houses, some beautiful houses in the mountain. Because I know I won't stop. That's a certainty. And that came on the back of conditioning and building that endurance. Every day, just doing the same things. I am shaping my future by shaping my mind, skills, emotions, and actions. We all have that within us. But it's the narrative that we allow to hold us back because it gets overwhelming. That damn step number 36, I just don't get the graphic. I don't get the illustration, the details, the description. Well, of course you won't. So quit beating yourself up for not understanding number 36. Go to step number 1. Understand that, and you'll feel accomplished because that'll lead you to step 2, 3, and before you know it, 36 is going to be a walk through the park because you're on step 100. I am affirmations. This is what I want you to focus on today, okay? What can you apply for your business today? Simple. Maybe it's the market update report from Sierra Interactive. We all have access to that. Let's do that. Let's revisit that. Let's add 5 people to that. All right, I am affirmations. This is what you have to kind of just whatever comes to mind. Nothing's right, and some of my stuff doesn't make sense, but I still write it out. I'll give you some examples. I am a great communicator and a leader. My emails are effective. I will sell at my event. I am a powerful leader. I continue to push the boundaries of my capacity. I am a student for life. I am a believer in God. I am a powerful, influent speaker. My words create action and emotions that change lives. I am a powerful speaker and leader. I just have to continue to breathe that into my mind because if I don't believe it, then I'll never become it. I am a creator. Ideas flow and actions take place. I know where to go and how to get it done. I'm not telling myself, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I'm not good at technology. I'm not good with videos. I'm not telling myself that. I refuse to believe that narrative. You can create whatever narrative you want for your life. So why not make it positive? Why not make it a beautiful experience? Knowing that these challenges are meant to make you better, to create a better person. I am a great coach and mentor. I will continue to push the envelope. I am a great communicator. I will dominate today's call. I am powerful. Nothing about me will ever indicate that I will quit. I'm going to read that again. Nothing about me will ever indicate that I will quit. That is a power statement. That is a belief in self. But it comes on the back of just taking the simple steps today and dominating that. Dominate step 1. Dominate step 2. Then it all makes sense. Your life will progress. You'll get everything you want. And I can go through it over and over and over again, read all my I am statements, but I need you to breathe that light into yourself. Breathe that light into yourself. I am relentless. Nothing can impede on my ability to deliver. I am patient. I am loving. I am a leader. I'm all those things. And I put down, I am patient because people used to describe me as impatient. And sometimes I am impatient. But I believe I can be patient. I just don't say, oh yeah, I'm just always impatient. I refuse to believe those narratives. I am grateful. I am happy. I do what it takes to create the life that I want. It is on me and only me. I cannot be stopped. I am a great communicator. My message will alter behaviors for good. I will speak passionately and powerfully. I know exactly where to go. So I want to read some of your comments, and I want to thank you again, for joining me. And listen, it's real easy just to avoid this phone call, right? This call, this Mindset Mastery, is real easy to be busy, to sleep in, to do something else. But I don't want you to just experience what I'm saying, from my perspective. Whatever it triggers, I want you to buy into that story. Because we all have greatness within us, all of us. We just allow the people around us. Maybe it's the thoughts in our mind, the stories we were led to believe, which are lies. It's just believing in self, inspiring ourselves through our own actions. We got Sergio. Sometimes it's about getting back to the basics to build from there. Thank you for this, AZ. That's it. I didn't do anything spectacular, guys. I'm just overwhelmed with just emotion of appreciation, not overwhelmed by stress and fatigue. I'm not feeling burnt out. I'm overwhelmed by just all this. I don't know how to process some of these feelings I have. I just don't. I'm learning how to do that. I'm embracing that. But feeling overwhelmed because I can't figure things out, or it's beyond me, believing it's beyond me, that's not a good place to be. The problem isn't the CRM. The problem is not using the tools you have to begin with. Start somewhere and start now. Absolutely. Coming from one of our top producers. That's it. And I remember he took the time just to learn the systems, to learn how to navigate through it. Now he can depend on the systems to help him grow his business. It's not staying stagnant. Rudy's in this for the long haul, building the systems and the processes to become a 50, 60, $100 million producer. And it's going to happen. You don't plant a tree and expect it to be fully grown immediately. It's the daily deposits that will continue to help it grow day after day. I love that. Expand on that. Share it with somebody else. Where in your life have you been stuck where you thought it should have been a tree? But you realize, hey, listen, it starts with the seed. So tell it from your own perspective. And Andres, you probably have 1,000 stories of where you had to do that. Just you stepping into this industry and quitting your career. That's a huge step. But you understand that you can't just walk into this and automatically be successful. You have to feel the burdens, the pains of growth and expansion. Every growth comes with pains. I remember my daughters, they used to have these growing pains on their legs. They used to hurt them so much, it would be there laying and crying. So unless you feel that pain of almost giving up and crying and it's so overwhelming, you're not really growing. All of us have to go through that. You have to be able to call yourself out. Absolutely, Joanna. That's the main thing. We have to ask ourselves, am I really and I'm just speaking for me. I used to tell myself, it's am I really that dumb that I can't figure this out? Am I really that incapable of figuring out what the next steps are? Because it's comical, right? When you look at it from that point. Am I really that incapable of actually accomplishing this? I see hundreds and thousands of people doing it. And now with social media, thousands and tens of thousands doing it, but I can't? That's ridiculous, right? That's naive talk. That's buying into a story that's false. AZ, I thank you for reminding to put clients in the CRM system. It's like low-lying fruit in a fruit tree, ready for harvest. Absolutely. We tend to overcomplicate things. CRMs, how to follow up, how to make a video. The resources available to us both within the brokerage and online are endless. That one deposit, that one step forward today is already that much better than where you were. Action. If you don't take it, then someone else will. And if you don't, you will suffer. Man. And again, that fires me up. I'm just knowing, that's why I don't miss my workouts, because I feel like somebody else has an advantage over me. Some of the guys that I work out with, they lift heavier, they do all these things, but it's like, I'm going to be here. And I can't lift the way I used to, but I'm in the game and I'm inspired by others around me. We all ask for this. Absolutely. Nothing about me will ever indicate I will quit. I love it. Feed the dog. I am a mean, slim listing machine. I love it. I am the master of my emotions. Yes. How many times do we give in to those emotions, right? Those feelings. It's like, no, I will not relent. I will not secede. I will keep going. It's all about trying to one-up yourself every single day, especially the days you don't want to do anything. That's it. You guys have it. You guys have the recipe for success. Now let's get after it. Okay, simple thing. Remember, whatever you apply today is far greater than what you've done in the last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Anything new is a step towards the very things that you want and desire. So let's get after it. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me for this episode of Mindset Mastery, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye now. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Badass Agents Podcast, brought to you by AZ & Associates and Do the Work Coaching and Consulting. You can watch this and other episodes by subscribing to our channel on YouTube or by visiting us directly at badassagents.com. And of course, you can listen to this episode and many others on your preferred podcast provider.